artificial intelligence tool is taking the tech world by storm.
ChatGPT.
ChatGPT is one of the most trending topics right now.
Robot you can talk to.
That you can log on to and have a conversation with.
Into OpenAI, the startup behind the ChatGPT tool that's taken the world by storm. Could a deal help the tech giant bite into Google's dominance in search?
Since December 15, 2022, hundreds of thousands of videos on YouTube have been created around this topic, ChatGPT and
artificial intelligence or AI.
These platforms will supposedly come to revolutionize not only the way we do things in the virtual and digital world, as well as in the real world. Some believe that these platforms came to change the world completely, from the way we live to the way we will one day die. But I don't really believe in it, and in this video I'm going to tell you why, how you can still live without ChatGPT, and how you can make millions of dollars in the traditional way.
Where it can be, again, very impactful across the Microsoft suite.
ChatGPT went through and gave me the code to copy-paste and even explain to me exactly what was wrong, why it was wrong, and how it was fixed.
Good luck to y'all with the new AI.
The more people spend time while consuming your product or service, the more the chances you offer making rivers of money. But that only happens if your product or service solves some sort of problem, or if it's really enjoyable. That's why Jeff Bezos is one of the richest person on planet, since he solved some really big problem. And Cristiano Ronaldo also is, though he didn't solve any problem. But once he's the star of a product to which billions of people enjoy and pay hundreds of dollar bills for watching, he also makes rivers of money. But if you look at its core, football is all about tons of people who run after a ball with no clear solution to any problem. But still, a football match is one of the most profitable business that exists nowadays, and that includes all kind of sport games because they're enjoyable and millions of people pay cash for accessing it. So this leads us to question, what is money, how it works, and how is wealth created? Join me in this journey as we'll uncover the other side of money that hasn't been sold in hundreds of ChatGPT videos. And no, I'm not going to sell you any course in the end of the video. Not today. What comes to your mind when you hear about money? A salary earned from a job? Or how do you feel when you hear about money? Stressed, fear, anxious? Do you feel as if money enters your life and immediately disappears? Is your money owned by someone else, your bank, a service provider, TV, house rental, your girlfriend, right even before it reaches your hands? Or do you fear having a lot of money because, after all, money doesn't bring happiness? A study run by Forbes in 2020 shows that 78% of adults in the US live paycheck to paycheck. That means that right after they've paid some basic bills, they are left with little to no money, and we only have another heavenly paycheck after 30 days or more of hard work and restless long hours. And the only solution left is the American very trusted free money source, the credit card, which offers free money at a very high interest rate, which of course you won't have enough money to pay. So it is going to be paid by another credit card, which is paid by another credit card, and the debt mountain keeps rising. Modern day money models has become what the majority assumes to be the very correct and perhaps the only way of making money. Such path is by many considered reliable, risk-free, and heavenly safe. In a 2005 commencement speech at Stanford University, Steve Jobs said,
"Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking."
If you stop for a moment and analyze, you'll realize that everything you have been doing your entire life is nothing more than a cultural presumption woven by others people thinking. What cultural presumptions, you ask me? To answer that question, I will host you another question. Was it always your dream, or at least your choice? Go to a college, memorize useless stuff so you could throw loud in a test or exam, get good grades so you can earn a degree regardless of cost, demand, or economics, graduating with little to no actionable knowledge in personal finance or money production, making you no different from millions of people that never went to college or university. Get a job so you can officially join the Time Traders Club, a club of people who trade huge blocks of their lives, 5 days of 7, in exchange of a paycheck, slaving all days for endless decades so you can finance the debt made by either you or your parents for financing your academic progress. Why While some might be chosen taken by you, I will put my hand on fire betting the majority of them were the result of an inescapable gospel woven by others people's thinking, a prescripted road which no one can escape. And often, such people include people to whom you respect the most, your parents, a very close friend, or a girl who often becomes main purpose for a living when they live blankly without any purpose. If you have any chance of doing what you instinctively want to do, what will it be? Climbing the career ladder? Accepting any random job because now you have responsibilities that demand for one? Would you become an entrepreneur, an inventor, an internet marketeer? That's for you the idea of a big house, a sport car, fashion clothes, traveling all over the world without having to worry about getting back to work seem like an absolute distant dream? Well, make no mistake, this life exists. Anyway, by saying that, I hope not to be selling you dreams. You won't immediately become a millionaire after watching this video, neither you will win in the lottery. My aim in this video is to give you some glimpses and insights in the entrepreneurial niche without having to trust your life to an artificial intelligence. Feel free to quit this video at any time you wish. There won't be any get rich quick link in the end of the video, nor will I tell you what business you should do. But if you wish to get a new and fresh perspective on how to turn things around, then stick to this video, and also make sure to stick to the channel by subscribing and turning on the bell. In 2017, Johnny Depp, one of the highest paid film actors, was filed for bankruptcy with $100 million in debt, despite accumulating more than $615 million during the course of his career. By now, this has left for us something very clear. During our entire life, we all struggle day after day chasing money, migrating from a job to another seeking for better opportunities. But what is the real point in chasing money for our entire life when the great problem seems not to be with our abilities of making money, but with our abilities of managing it? As I posted in the example from Johnny Depp, it's clear to notice that the main problem wasn't with his ability of making money, but with his abilities of managing it. But by saying so, I'm not assuming that everyone who has money problems lacks school or formal education, but the problem is that when it comes to money and personal finance, there are some topics that it seems like our formal education didn't quite grasp yet, and so it failed to teach us. So let us proceed. We've talked about what money is, or what does it represent. But there are still some questions like how money works or is produced that wasn't clearly answered yet. When you buy a certain good, when you pay for your work at a restaurant or a big company, what is the significance of money in these transactions? As we mentioned before, money is a medium of exchange in which agreed perceived value is stored. You see, when you hand over a certain amount of money for purchasing a product from a store, the real unconscious reason why you do such purchase is because you agree that the perceived value of the product is equivalent to the amount of money that you handed over. And that's how money works at its core. It is also the reason why you are paid lower as a restaurant waiter, but an engineer at a big company is paid higher. The perceived value of a restaurant waiter is by everyone agreed to be lower than an engineer is. You see, as a restaurant waiter, if you deny a certain price or salary because your price is higher, the only thing that will happen is you being replaced by someone else. And that's because it is an easy task that can be done by almost everyone, and there are millions of people available for that. It's not scarce, and if you recall what we previously stated, scarcity increases perceived value. And of course, the price can't be determined by you as an individual, but by the market as a whole. Understanding money as being the result of a value delivered to the market, disconnected from other assumptions such as money doesn't bring happiness, puts you in a good relationship with money. After all, if money doesn't bring upon happiness, then what's the real point in acquiring it? Money itself doesn't come with any sort of end usage. The things you do or buy with your money are totally your own responsibility. Whether money brings happiness or not, it only depends on what you do with your money. You might be using it to acquire a dream car, a dream house, for helping people, or just spend it in a casino. But if none of the uses makes you happy, then the sadness is with you as an individual. Money itself only gives you the power or ability to boost up your choices. Money itself only gives you the power or ability to boost up your choices. Often the things you can do with your money are divided into groups, each of them representing a different future. In very simple words, assets represents all goods, products or services you have or can acquire that has the potential to generate money. Some examples may include a taxi car, a burger shop, or any other. On the other hand, liabilities are all the things that draw money out of your pocket. Just like the assets, it can also include goods, products or services, a Netflix subscription, TV, your house, and even your beloved car. These can also be described as your production versus your consumption. If by any chance you get the opportunity to generate 6 figures income a month and still find a way to burn it all, then it's clear that the problem is not with the amount of money itself, but within the imbalance between the money you produce versus the money you consume. Putting it simple, production means nothing when you have problem with consumption. Are there any possible solutions, you might be wondering? Well, the answer is a clear yes. The very first step towards the solution is starting to develop an awareness for your relationship with money. By your relationship with money, I mean your production versus your consumption. One great way of doing so is to stop for a moment to reflect about how much money you consume per month and how much money you produce in the same period. By doing such simple tasks, in some future months, you may have developed an expenses disciplines in which you're able to decide how much money you're willing to spend and stick to it, allowing yourself to save some money for getting new assets or maybe for some emergency cases. Anyway, by saying so, I hope not to be promoting frugal lifestyle in which you cheapskate all of your money into a savings account. In no means am I giving the be cheap lifestyle which hundreds of books, bloggers, and even some YouTubers promote. The purpose here is to show you another way in which you can use your money to generate more money instead of burning it all in every new device, clothes, brands that are acquired by social media influencers. But with all that being said, let us talk about how to make money.
ChatGPT,
which stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer.
a robot you can talk to.
That you can log on to and have a conversation with.
And it went from 0 to 1 million users in 5 days, which is the fastest any platform has gotten to 1 million users.
It can write poetry. It can do a whole range of text-based tasks surprisingly well.
First of all, let me make one point clear. In no way do I mean to imply that ChatGPT is bad. Absolutely not. I have personally tried it, looked around it, read several articles about it as well as artificial intelligence, and I realized that they can be some very useful tools which can help us in our daily tasks. What I want to make clear is that it has in no way replaced the way things are done. Just like any other tool, ChatGPT is here to help us, not to do stuff for us. The platform is of course super amazing and extremely intelligent. However, without the questions, without the correct insertion of data, the answers generated by ChatGPT have no effect. Therefore, instead of facing these platforms as enemies of our reality, see them as mere tools. Embrace evolution, but don't depend entirely on it. The richest men in the world managed to reach such point at a time that cell phones couldn't stay in their pockets due to their weight. And if they did it, so can you. And lucky for you with a cell phone in your pocket and the help of artificial intelligence. Another point is that you shouldn't depend entirely on ChatGPT. As we all know, it is still in its beta version, and we don't know about its future. It may be cancelled for many reasons including security, or it may be continued, but at a subscription price few can afford to pay, mainly if you're in the beginning of your activity and with little or no money. So with that being said, let's make some money. There are hundreds if not thousands of careers that you can follow in order to make money. Sure, you could climb the career ladder and become a big company CEO, or you could become a scientist and help the world with the development of vaccines or new gadgets that can help on a daily basis. Now, when it comes to entrepreneurship, I'm sure you have already seen millions of people who became millionaires in a relatively short amount of time, and you wonder to yourself, how did they reach such level? Well, fact is, there are many strategies you can apply in order to make yourself a millionaire. Look at yourself. What is it that you like best? Or what is it that you do best? Is it teaching? Is it making videos? Is it photographing, skating, or programming? Now, here's the thing. The US population is around 330 million people and UK is 67 million people. With that, the chances of someone else in these two countries like or admire the same things you do are very high. The UK and the US are both on top when it comes to sales in online markets. Now, point is, if you could find a problem in the market that needs a solution and you were able to generate the solution for the problem through a product or service in high demand, the final step will be the delivery of that solution at a large scale. And the internet has provided us an enormous power when it comes to improving sales or grow small businesses. You can generate sums of money by simply promoting the solution you found, be it a certain product or service that you can provide to a specific audience that you would like to reach. The goal at this point is to engage with an audience, or at least create one. And as a first step, you can focus on your network of contacts, your region, or your city. And from there, it only depends on you as to where you would like to reach. Well, sky is no longer the limit. Some businesses these days are reaching other planets. The very important thing you must make sure of is that your solution delivers high perceived value to the market and is not just another scheme of making money out of people's innocence. Remember that money equals perceived value. Now, here's a summary on how you can generate money in the traditional way, plus the help of artificial intelligence. First of all, remember that money equals perceived value generated, created, produced, and delivered to the market, which is the world. Find a problem in the market that needs a solution. Provide a solution for that problem and sell the solution you found at a large scale. This is the core principle of every successful business. Big companies make large sums of money by finding a problem in the market and delivering a solution for that problem at a mass scale. Now, with the help of our magic tools, taking big steps towards solving problem has become even easier. If you'll spend a whole month looking for an unresolved problem, now you can simply ask ChatGPT from the comfort of your couch. And if it gives a useful result, then it means that you have reduced months of works down to mere minutes. But always remember, do not use the results literally. Always deepen the subject and investigate the topic. Use the tools as simple wizards and let them help you create a foundation of ideas where to start from. Several can be the uses of artificial intelligence tools, so take advantage of them, especially while they are free, cause believe me, apart from me and Sunny V2, nobody else does things just for free to help people. Everyone wants to take some money. I just want you to subscribe and like this video. It's 100% free. Hello, HIDLSON here. Before you click off just yet, I wanted to be very grateful for having you to the end of the video. Having you here makes me super happy and believing that the video delivered some sort of value. This video was heavily inspired in many works including Unscripted by MJ DeMarco, The Millionaire Fastlane also by MJ DeMarco, Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. You can find all the links down below in the description. Now, if you enjoyed this video in any way, make sure to leave your like, and if you didn't, hit the dislike button and hit it twice just to make sure nothing goes wrong. With nothing else to say, wish you a really great day and I'll see you in another video.